Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, Aaron Judge goes deep twice in his first spring training game of the year. Looks ready in mid-season form. And the Yankees absolutely annihilate the Detroit Tigers by a score of 23. Okay, I understand it's a spring training game, but lots to like from the game. Mainly also Spencer Jones going deep. A good defensive play by George Lombard, where maybe that could be a future shortstop solution for the Yankees in the future. As well as good start by Carlos Lagrange. So, kind of get over it in case you missed any of it. Again, you probably look at the final score and says, wow, blowout, but again, beyond this, the offensive explosion, a lot of little good things alike in this first spring training win for the Yankees. So we'll get into it. Before we do, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, the podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast. And there's also a YouTube version of the show. Go to YouTube and subscribe there as well. So the Yankees really initially kicked off spring training actually with a game against the Orioles, kind of a 2-0 loss, ho-hum game. But of course, the second game against Detroit, which opened up a lot of eyes for different reasons, mainly Aaron Judge making his first spring training start of the year. And again, he's already in midseason form, going deep twice in the game on his second and third at-bats. And not only just go deep, just the pitches. One was really a low ball he got. And then the second was more incredible, just kind of almost similar to the home run he hit against Toronto. It was a ball way inside there, but he was able to get around on the ball inside there, and his bases muscled out to left field there, which again is quite an incredible swing. To hit two balls like that in your first spring training game of the year, I mean, he really looks locked in and ready. It wasn't like meatballs down the middle of this some AAA pitcher or AA pitcher just trying to get one over him. Again, these were kind of tough pitches he hit out there, and again, he crushed them both there, so he looks pretty much ready to go. Once the World Baseball Classic tournament starts, he'll go head over, play for Team USA. But he looks ready now for the season. So again, good news for Judge, and I'm sure obviously he does what he does during the offseason to get ready for this moment. Also, Spencer Jones hitting a mammoth bomb of a home run himself there. Measured at 408 feet, actually hit it out of George M. Steinbrenner complex there down in Tampa. But of course, the thing with Spencer Jones is similar to when Judge first came up, does have a lot of strikeouts, so did also strike out 2 other times in this game there, so kind of gave you see the good part of him hitting bombs, but also the bugaboo about him he does strike out a lot, and did strike out 2 times in this game. But you just see the potential of someone imagine having a lineup of Judge, Stanton, Spencer Jones. You got 3 guys just intimidating opposing pitches there, so is that something we'll see maybe later in this year, 2026, possibly? Just kind of remains to be seen because, of course, there's going to be a competition whether Jones and Dominguez, will they make the Major League club, or, of course, you keep them down AAA and let them get a maximum of bats versus playing only once a week up here on the Major League level there. But to see the potential of having those 2 big men there in the lineup. And as I mentioned before, a lot of other good things alike in this 23 drubbing of the Tigers, mainly the start of Carlos Lagrange, who we've been hearing about him. Of course, his whole thing is that he could reach 102 miles per hour on the radar gun, and he did touch triple digits a couple times in this game. But it was more his breaking stuff there, and even if you listen to Cone on the Yes broadcast, just really impressed with his really full repertoire. I mean, yeah, you always have these guys come up here and just try to throw the ball by you, but as we see before, even if you throw triple digits there, those guys get rocked as well. And if you don't have the off-speed stuff, and it's a different game now. Guys can catch up to 100 mile per hour fastballs. It's not like it's 1995 anymore there. So you have to have other stuff there. And Carlos Lagrange, again, he wasn't perfect first start of the season. Obviously, you're not going to push him too much in a spring training game, but his breaking stuff was rather impressive early on. They only had really 1 strikeout in the game, but getting a lot of good swings and misses, getting a lot of called strikes on his breaking ball, and not just relying on the 100 mile per hour stuff. So like to see there. And this is going around the horn, Paul Goldschmidt, who seemingly was just signed last week. I'm sure he was working out in the offseason, smoked the ball for a couple of RBIs in this game as well. The defense was playing in there because Yankees had runners on second and third there, so the fact that the third baseman was pulling in, did that benefit Goldschmidt a little bit to get that ball through? Yeah, but again, we did smoke the ball, so not bad for a guy who was kind of seemingly might have been on, was kind of on his couch like 2 weeks ago. To come right off the bat there. So a lot of good stuff. And of course, there's later in the game, the Yankees put a 9 spot on the board, in the late innings against the Detroit, obviously just sending whatever scrubs guy out there. So again, don't get into too much of the 20-3 final score, but the little things, this sort of, Goldschmidt smoking the ball, 2 home runs by Judge. The pitcher threw the ball out of the zone, and Judge still rocked it there. So Judge looks like he's ready in form there. Good to see Spencer Jones, just go deep and see what the potential of, what he could be there. And also a good defensive play later in the game by George Lombard, who probably normally will be a third baseman for the AAA team or AA team, no matter where he starts this year. But obviously they had him working out some shortstop as well in this game, and went in the hole, made a good stab at the ball, and threw it to first base, got a good bounce. And, he's someone in the mix potentially. He's probably, I guess, offensively, one of the Yankees, I guess, highest touted prospect there at third base. But, if he could play a shortstop hole, and we'll see what the future holds with the whole thing going on, 2026 with Volpe and Cabarello. And, George Lombard probably not ready for the major league level in 2026. But in the future, perhaps, maybe that might be an option for the Yankees, whether at third base or in the shortstop hole, maybe more for third base, because Ryan McMahon, who's signed now, he's under control, but I don't think he'll be in the Yankees' long-term future. So maybe whenever the McMahon contract fizzles out, or they decide to trade him at some point in the future, maybe that'll be the gateway for George Lombard. But right now, I think it's a little too early for that. But again, also a good defensive play in the game. So solid win for the Yankees. But this is crazy to see Judge, first game back, 2 home runs, and kind of picking up where he left off right from last year. Didn't miss a beat. No spring training rust whatsoever. He looks ready to go. And you just hope he gets through the World Baseball Classic with no injuries like that, and you get ready to go for the 2026 season unscathed. So he looks ready to go. Spring can't come here any sooner. Catch you next time.